bless those that are here with us and those that could be with us, those that might be sick or ill. We ask you to bless our soldiers, bless our first responders. They need you every day. Um, and we ask that you just guide this meeting with your hand. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberties and justice for all. Honor the Texas. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for all coming. We see some new faces on the Okay, at this time, any person with business before the court not scheduled on the agenda may speak to the court and can be taken on these items at this meeting. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes. I'm not seeing any takers this morning, so we'll move on. Discuss and consider interprecinct project schedule and staffing. Anything going on that we need to know about?
Finally rained, or it did in my precinct.
I
So
got some.
I got it very well. IEA is building 4.5 megawatt wind turbines still out there, and I've seen some of the blades there.
yeah, I've seen some come through town. They are big.
Yes.
What are you doing coming
I don't know. I think text dot routing through there. So. All right, anything else? Okay. Court to open and consider bids for golf course grounds maintenance management for the Scurry County Golf Course. We got one. I was saying a while ago. Anybody want to open? Someone called yesterday, but we didn't get anything from them, so this is the only one. My luck, I probably kept the page right now too. It's from Weaver and Wiggins Turf Management. It is for $144,000, and that would be for the full year, each year. And name change in 2020 to Wiggins Turf Management, so it would just be it wouldn't be Weaver and Wiggins, it'd just be Wiggins Turf Management.
The only issue I have with doing it that way is if you do it contract labor or anything like that, we can't do it because we furnish the equipment. That's not contract labor.
The contract was, the previous contract was written that we provide the equipment and they provide the labor.
Right. Which probably should have been done, but I would say we need to table it until we can gather more information about what we exactly want and what we can and can't do.
Get a legal opinion. I think that might okay the last contract. But that would be the same thing.
Absolutely.
Nate, one Nate.
Court to consider certification of additional revenue in the form of payment from Turn Energy for damage to a road in precinct. Tell us about.
Actually, I will let Craig tell about it because it is in his precinct, but it is for $233,100 for the repairs.
Yes, this was a windmill damage. When they moved windmill, it was from the intersection of 1269 and 2126 to Borden County, about approximately a mile. And I would like to say that I've never worked for better folks. The girl that run it, her name is Annie. She's from Greece. And they bring them over here and let them, I think probably 6 months or a year that they work. and then I get to go back.
Mhm.
And there wasn't a thing. I carried most all the foremen out there. I think Sean was out there too, and we went through every road that they've been on. And this one was the only one that the foreman's and thought that was damaged. The rest of them could be, we could fix what little old dots that they had. I come back and with Angela's help and her team, put this amount of money to work, on paper, and I carried it to her, and she never blinked. She just run it back and asked, even come back and asked what bank to send the money to. We'd already got the money, so I don't think we got a graph for them on the deal.
Doesn't sound like it.
Sound like, and they're good people, they're really good people, and make a motion that we take his money and not spend it.
Second.
I'll agree with that. All in favor? All right, motion carries. Court to consider certification of additional revenue in the form of payment from Scurry County Local Government Corporation.
We received a check for $48,000 from the new board members of the Scurry County Local Government Corporation, which was what they had originally approved in their meeting.
Right.
There is still the additional amounts left in there, but what I believe they're going to have another meeting to request permission to send us the remaining of that. But this is certifying it back into the general fund, $48,000.
Make the motion, we accept the 48,000 from the local government corporation.
Second.
All in favor? Court to consider certification of additional revenues in the form of insurance claims from TAG for ball field lights appreciation.
This amount is $30,226.50, but I will defer to Terry to let him explain a little bit more about this.
And so we had been visiting with TAC Risk Management for some time now and asked them to extend this for trying to figure out how that we would actually use this money for the benefit of the community and for the youth softball field as well as the baseball field. They told us that they could extend it a certain number of times, and they did. August the 12th was the last time they said they could extend it after about 3 or 4 times. The whole issue is that when we went to repair these lights, we found that the very important part of the light is not manufactured anymore. It's the ceramic screw-in part where the bulb screws into the ceramic holder is not there anymore. And so they did a bid for us for LED lights, which is the next step up, and of course would be a lot cheaper to run than what these lights are that we have now, which are metal halide. And so I just told him, he asked me, because I was talking to wind energy companies about donating money and different ones, and we finally did get a donation, but it's not near enough. The bids came back at $400,000 to put in LED lights and poles. And so I just told the risk management person that guess we just lost the money because we can't repair. It's not there to repair with, the parts aren't. And we don't have the money. So we're just going to have to let that go for now. And then he wrote me back a month or so later and said, hey, I talked to the board at the risk management. They are going to go ahead and give you the money to be used in the future whenever you can come up with the money or donations, whatever grants, whatever we can do so that it will help us do that. And so a lot of grants are matching grants. If you've ever gotten a grant, a lot of times you'll be asked to come up with 50% or 80% or 90%. And so that's, hopefully we can do that at some point, and this will help us to do.
The amount is $30,000, $226.50.
Make a motion, we accept the insurance proceeds of all field lights.
All in favor? Court to discuss and consider a contract with Allison, Bass, and McGee LLP for Commissioners Court Precinct Redistricting. I got this letter, August 29th, that said, hey, we contacted you a year ago about redistricting, contracting with Allison Bass for them to set up the redistricting. And this coincides with census every 10 years. There's a Supreme Court decision in Avery versus Midland County that Texas Commissioners Court's been required to make periodic assessments of the political boundaries to determine whether the boundaries retain sufficient person, one vote balance. They put it in election code law 42.001, so it's law that you have to, it says this requirement is now carried forward in Article 42.001 of the Texas Election Code and has been extended to virtually all political bodies that elect representatives from special member districts or geographic regions of the political jurisdiction in which candidates for representative office must reside. So state law says that we have to do redistricting every 10 years. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to move the lines, but they look at it to make sure that it's one person, one vote, as required by law. There is a fee to it. It's 3 years. The contract would start October 21st. We have to let them know by October 31st what we're going to do. We are one of 70 that they have contracted with in the past. If we don't, they'll give our spot to somebody else. So it's a 3-year process on the payout. $5,000 this year, $6,750 in, I'm sorry, $5,000 in 2020, $6,750 in 2021, $6,750 in 2022. And that doesn't include any kind of publications or mailings that we have to do. That would be in it. We would have to pay that additionally.
And of course, the good thing about Allison Bass is Allison has been the representative for the Judges and Commissioners Conference for our association for years and has represented us very well in many different aspects. And the second thing is the flat fee. It's not a percentage of what they're going to charge. So we do know for budgeting purposes going forward, and we would have known had the previous administration actually have responded to them, we would have known how much to put in the budget for this year. Because they did it in plenty early, as the judge stated. And so with that, with Allison Bass, they did our last census back 10 years ago for us at a flat fee as well. And they did a very good job. And this is something Melody loves to go through every 10 years, for sure. And we absolutely moved the lines all over the place. But it was a process that was helped by them so very much. It's a very difficult thing to do. So I make a motion that we would contract with Allison Bass for the 2020 census in Scurry County.
Second.
All in favor? This is something that came up that I wanted to discuss. Court to discuss and consider continual charge of fees to other taxing entities for use of the Armory. Coming up next month, the hospital is doing an event out there for cancer awareness. And it's to raise money for cancer awareness. They're going to have some booths out there where they're going to do mammograms and different kind of testing for people. I wanted to see what thought about charging entities that are doing, not individuals, entities, other taxing entities, for doing a fundraiser for something as important as cancer research. Do we want to continue? We charge them for the building, and we charge them for each table and each chair, just like we do with anybody else that rents the facility. Just throwing that out there to see what y'all think. That's something we want. If we want to continue charging them, I know I don't know how much they make or will make, but I don't know. Do we we want to cut into what they can make for a small, probably less than $1,000 that we would make on bringing that facility to.
What?
Judge,
No,
we have an interlocal agreement with nearly all these taxing entities, and if this is something that we want to do, and with something like cancer research, it's super important, no doubt. We might think about adding that, amending our interlocal agreements that we have already with them, and adding that to our other taxing entities so that they could do that. We just need to come up with a fee or free, whatever we will decide there for them to do. But if we're going to do it, that's local agreements and what they do for us in exchange already, because it is supposed to, by law, supposed to be quid pro quo. And so we need to examine those interlocal agreements and make sure that we are balanced in that, and if possible, allow them to use those facilities, even as our own EMS does, and other people in the county that are employees of the county. So,
yeah, well, we do need to look at the interlocal agreement so we don't blindside anybody.
We can table this then, and we can have a conversation with them.
or
See
take
what
no
the,
action.
we'll take no action, and then I can bring it back, next week.
That'd be great. Thanks.
All right, court to consider resolution to nominate members to the appraisal district board of directors. I have not had an opportunity to look at any board members, right? As of September 16, 2019, following current board members have agreed to serve if nominated or elected. Jerry Board, nominated by Snyder ISD. Fred Cross, nominated by Scurry County. Jay Waller, nominated by Ira ISD. And Clarence Speaker, nominated by Hermley ISD. Ray Myers has indicated that another term is not possible at this time. So we've received a ballot. Has anybody had an opportunity to look into that?
I've got some people that I want to talk to. I haven't been able to talk to them yet. Myself, I did, Fred Cross did call me, and he said he probably would not want to be nominated.
Okay.
To that board again.
Okay.
He said he wouldn't have done it for last year, or this year, had it not been for Larry leaving as well.
Okay.
But he said he didn't feel like he would want to serve. So there's no place he could fill as well.
Okay. But you haven't spoken to anybody yet?
No, I haven't had the opportunity.
Okay. Have you
No,
spoken
I
to
hadn't,
anybody?
I hadn't yet, but I would like to.
Okay.
Take no action.
Have
till
you
we can-
spoken to anybody? Jim? Ms. Mize, you wanted to speak on this?
I just wanted to have the opportunity if something came up. I don't have anything to say.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, so we will take no action on this. We do need to have our nominees submitted by October 15th, so we will discuss this again on October 15th. All right, consider approval.
Ray Myers, Fred Cross.
Court to consider approval of line item transfers.
There's no budget amendments, but there are 4 line item transfers. First one is the district attorney's office, 1,000 into investigative expense out of witness expense. Second one is the county welfare, 3,800 into part-time, 200 into postage, and $940 into communications out of medical fees. The third one is precinct 1, 10,000 into maintenance and repairs out of road material and construction. And then the last one is the golf course, 4541 into operating supplies, 1,500 into maintenance and repair out of lease rentals. Thank you.
Judge, I'd like to speak to my line transfer.
Okay.
This is exactly what I've been sharing with the Commissioner's Court, and those that were in the gallery over these last several years. At one point, before the unitized system was voted in, which was horrible outcome, and thank God we got it rectified and back to the commissioners. Talked to the court many times about the cost of these new machines that have been completely changed, where they have new engines, new transmissions, and they're all computer controlled. I was guessing that it would take about $10,000. I had already run out in my budget line for the year because of all the maintenance that I've had to do on this older equipment, because mainly computer problems. And Sean has experienced some of the same, and so much that he's even rented a machine in place of what he had. The bill come in today at $7,500, and they didn't replace any parts on this machine whatsoever. Every bit of this is diagnostics and electronic controls and sensors. $7,500. Now, before this, back before with the unitized system, I was buying and selling these motor graders for more than what we were paying for them, and keeping them within a 5-year warranty. Had this machine had been under warranty, it would cost us nothing. But because we kept the machine outside of the 5-year warranty, it's costing all of us a lot of money. Our maintenance, and this is something that we have got to figure out, how to get back to where we're keeping these machines for a short period of time, selling them to contractors because we get them cheaper. We have government discounts for machinery that we purchase that contractors do not get. Now, will these new machines sell to contractors like the old ones did? I don't know. But we're going to find out. We're going to have to find out. I'm going to lease machines for this next year. It's in my budget. I took my road materials budget down far enough that I could put money into where I could lease a couple of motor graders, and I can sell them next year if I want to. And it may be what I have to do because of new machinery. You just don't know what you're able to do yet. But hopefully we'll be able to get back to where we were, where we are buying them as a governmental entity. We're selling them cheaper, for more than what we paid for them, or even whatever we paid for them. The next year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever CAT requires you to keep their machines at least 3 years. John Deere doesn't. And so if we can do that, then we're driving new machines. This machine has been in the shop for 6 weeks. That's kind of hard to use a machine in the shop. So new machines are, now if it had broken down, which it didn't for the first 5 years, we would have still, even under warranty, probably had it in the shop for 6 weeks. But if we can sell them, if we can keep them for short periods of time and sell them for a profit, or even what we paid for them, which we have done in the past, then we'll be able to run new machinery, keep them working, and then get rid of them before the warranties.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Are you talking about buying it and then selling it?
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference in leasing it and letting them take care of the maintenance and then getting rid of it?
Well, it goes back to them. And so you either at the end of the lease, you have to purchase that machine for a certain price, or you have to let go of it.
Yeah.
So if you buy it and you sell it for as much as you paid for it, you don't have a balloon payment at the end of the lease.
Well,
And
the
so-
thing I was going by is what you said earlier there, that the way the machines are right now, can you sell them?
I don't know. That's what we're going to try to find out.
But if you leased them,
Yeah.
you could say, come get it and lease you another one, and that way you kept something going all the time.
That is true. And so,
And
but
you never would own nothing.
you're paying interest
Well,
on that lease is the other thing. But if you can make money on the machine, you still get it free. That's what I've done in the past.
well,
I
if
sold
you
them.
could, the only thing that I was going back is you said that it'd be hard to, or you thought it might be hard to sell
It may be.
because
Yeah, we don't know. I didn't know the first time that I sold the machine that was 5 years old, whenever I first came into office. But I actually got as much money for it as what was paid for it after using it for 5 years. The next machine I sold, I made money, $25,000, because I just kept it a year and sold it.
Yeah.
So if that works, then that's the way to go. If it doesn't work, then it's the way that you're talking about is the only way to go.
Yeah.
You're right. So we just have to experiment a
I'm
little
trying to
bit.
figure out,
No,
I'm
no.
just trying to figure out
No, that's right.
if there's another
Right
way.
now, I will be leasing, where I have turned money back every year. And mainly because we haven't been doing the chip seal programs that we needed to do.
Right.
I'm gonna be using that money to help pay for this machine. The sooner I can get it paid off,
Right.
the quicker I can try to sell it to see if it will sell. I think it will. They're amazing machines. But this electronics, everything is electronic, from the transmission to the front wheel drive, to the engine, to the emissions, everything. And so it makes it very difficult to pay this kind of maintenance fees on them in that case. But yeah, it won't sell. You're right. We're going to have to lease them, and that may be the best deal we can do.
Thank you.
You
Yes,
got a buyback program on either one of them.
Yes.
But it's not what you can get over the internet or.
Yeah.
Same for. The buyback.
But if they buy it back, you don't have to fool with it.
That's true. Exactly.
Did y'all take a motion
No.
and approve the line
No.
items?
No, we didn't. All right.
We're driving, we're driving maintainers right now.
We
Can I get a
did. All right,
motion?
so, yeah.
I make a motion that we approve the line transfer.
Okay. All in favor?
Thank you.
Okay, now I do. accounts payable.
Now we're ready. I got
Accounts
distracted.
payable, $201,044.99, plus there will be an additional amount of about $1,500 once the Capital One credit card for the probation office is corrected. There was a billing error in there, trying to get that corrected, but it's due now. So,
Make a motion, we pay the bill.
Second.
All in favor? That covers everything. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I'm gonna make a note on it. No.
Well, it's not only on maintainers. After 40-something years with the cars, and I've seen them from the times that you put a wrench on it until now then that you have a machine you plug it into, and then you plug this other into, and it's 10 times higher. It is.
Go back to the old.
No,
They don't
really,
want to.
really, no. Well, going back is never that.
Oh, you're right.
Weaver and Williams turf management.
Maybe we can just get the reliability. All right. I wonder if the electrical. No,
No emission.
they say that. but it's
Yeah,
not
they do.
true. Those are producing the electricity.
Make sure y'all working hard for me.
Natural gas,
Right.
oil, diesel.
That's why
They
I
got
ran
that for all the plastic stuff,
Can't count
steering wheel, the
services.
dashboard,
Yeah.
the carpet. It's all still gotta have now.
And that's probably the best day of my life.
Figure out. How's the new door work?
Say again?
How's the new door work?
It's working good. It's working good, yeah. I was surprised it was as bad after they laid it out. I know when we went to open it that one day, it shot that bill back across the hall.